Let's see if I don't mess up with the audio this time. There I am. There I am. Okay, it's working. So I'm making sure I'm hearing my own audio now to the desktop audio to make sure it doesn't have the echo again. So I made a new level design for the intro stage I wanted to show you guys. So the idea is making every piece of the stage both challenging but fair, and always have different feeling for each section. So I made sure every section have different enemies instead of throwing every enemy everywhere in the stage. So I will just start playing and making some comments about it. I put the Bambi tank here on the beginning of the stage because I was starting with the mat before, but I just wanted to show the a reworked enemy first to make more interesting. It's like the first stage, so here is the introduction of what will happen, and the intro stage will be also the a wheelie stage. You're going to the castle in the first stage for reasons. So the start here is just Tallis and Bambi tanks. Then we have Mets and Tallis. The Mets, the Tallis respawn here to give you some more pressure to deal with the Mets. I'm pretty bad at talking and play at the same time, but anyways. Hey, Ankeles and Star Alice. Thanks for the looking awesome. So one thing I want to do with the game also is, I know it's important to have teaching elements in the game, like teaching enemies, but I'm trying a new approach for some teaching elements, and you will see it right here. This is, you have to slide and the enemy comes right at you, so it's a surprise attack. And oops, it's a bit of a dick move, but I want to make the game a bit hard right from the beginning, so instead of ramping the difficulty, because the start of the stage is what you will play the most, so you need to get used to the difficulty in the start of the stage, because if I don't do that, you will like get bored in the start of the stage if you die a lot and have to repeat the start of the stage. And it's better if you have something to improve at the beginning of the stage in your play style. I think it makes the start of the stage more interesting for both the intro stage or stage overall. I don't know if you noticed, but the cannon peller here, he shoots twice instead of once, because he was a bit of a it was too easy to deal with him, so I made him shoot twice to make it more interesting. And he has a bit more health. He can survive oops, survive charge shots. Yeah, that's why what I'm going to try to keep it hard but not unfair. It's possible to make it uh, uh, a no damage run for the stage. Once you have some idea what's going on in each screen, you don't have to be pixel perfect, but you have to like know the enemies, have a rough idea of how they are placed and stuff. You see, I'm doing way better at the second try, and that's what I'm trying to do with the players too. And for example, this cannon pellet here, if you shoot at the right time, you will destroy both his shots with your charge. So you have to learn how to deal with each enemy and each enemy combination. Like here, there are shield attackers and canopellers. They fight you separately, but after a while in the stage, the enemies will come at you more than one at a time. Here we have the introduction for the falling platforms, and there are platforms that go sideways too. Uh, there's the first energy tank here. I'm pretty generous with items overall because the challenge for me needs to come from the enemies and placements and platforming, and not like running out of lives and having to like deal with item management too much. Um, so Angeles Dantas is saying um, I can nerf the weapons to make them the stage more harder and more interesting. But yeah, sorry. Sorry, he's saying instead of nerfing the weapons, I will make the stages harder. So the weapons are more useful. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, because there's a whole lot of weapons, and each one of them helps you with platforming too. So it wouldn't help if I make the stage too easy, because the all the weapons would be useless. Um, so I'm making the stages harder, and I don't know if I will have time to play with the weapons today, but I noticed even though the weapons are everyone that played the demo say the weapons are a bit OP, but playing the game with each weapon and going through the stage with each weapon, and I mean this harder stage, the Buster is just overall better because it's easier to hit anything, especially on widescreen. I made a change for the charge buster now that you also can shoot lemons with a charge buster on screen. So you can do 5 damage like this. You shoot and then shoot twice the lemons afterwards, and it's 5 damage. It's a lot of damage that you can do for like as far as this, you know. And like look at the chain, is it deals 6 damage if you use if you conduct the electricity, but it's very short. This is short. This you can do 3 damage with 3 lasers. So you know the weapons aren't as powerful as the buster, and aren't as easy to use because the buster is very straightforward. So I need to rebalance the weapons, and as weird as it may sound, they need to be a little bit more powerful, and I need a lot of playtesting for that, because we don't worse than OP weapons is if the weapons are actually not strong enough, then everyone will just use the buster and the game will be boring. I rather have the weapons a bit overpowered than being too weak. So right here we have the treadmill introduction, and you also it also had the Sniper Joe introduction that actually snipes in this game for some reason after almost 40 years. So the blue treadmill makes you go in one direction, and the red treadmill makes you go in another direction. I hope this is easy to understand for the players. Does Mega Man start with Double Buster? Actually, no. It will be it's something that will happen in the story, that you get the Double Buster right after the intro stage, because I need to introduce in an interesting way the Double Buster. How does the second weapon from Remote Man works? The one that makes you shoot a robot. Let me show it. Right now, let me deal with these enemies first. So you can look, it's hard to position, for example, these boomerangs. I need to get near the enemy to hit the enemy with that. It's another example of how it's actually a bit harder to you have to take some risk to use the special weapon. The robot, it walks forward, and when you press up it jumps, and when you press down it stops, and you can press down again to make it walk again, and it can jump still, and you can also explode it when you want to despawn it, and ride it also. It's the only weapon in the game that I'm not so sure about, because it's a bit too slow, and it doesn't feel great to use it, and I can't just rebalance it to make it good enough.
Oi,
Oi,
você tava chorando.
queres que eu cuide dele?
Eu tava dando uma arrumadão embaixo,
Ah, tá.
organizado. Já limpei as paredes e tirei o
Ah, posso parar? Tá. So I have to stop the live right now because I need to take care of my son, but I will continue later today. So until then, bye.
Eu não sabia que você tava fazendo live.
Hã?
Eu não sabia que você tava fazendo live, senão não tinha vindo aqui.
Ah, posso parar.